All the Bible verses about cave. Genesis 19:30. 30 Lot and his 2 daughters left Zoar and settled in the mountains, for he was afraid to stay in Zoar. He and his 2 daughters lived in a cave. 1 Kings 19:9. 9 There he went into a cave and spent the night. And the word of the Lord came to him, What are you doing here, Elijah? Ezekiel 33:27. 27 Say this to them, This is what the sovereign Lord says, As surely as I live, those who are left in the ruins will fall by the sword, those out in the country I will give to the wild animals to be devoured, and those in strongholds and caves will die of a plague. Hebrews 11:38. 38 The world was not worthy of them. They wandered in deserts and mountains, living in caves and in holes in the ground. Joshua 10:27. 27 At sunset Joshua gave the order and they took them down from the poles and threw them into the cave where they had been hiding. At the mouth of the cave they placed large rocks, which are there to this day. Judges 6:2. 2 Because the power of Midian was so oppressive, the Israelites prepared shelters for themselves in mountain clefts, caves and strongholds. 1 Samuel 13:6. 6 When the Israelites saw that their situation was critical and that their army was hard pressed, they hid in caves and thickets, among the rocks, and in pits and cisterns. 1 Kings 18:4. 4 While Jezebel was killing off the Lord's prophets, Obadiah had taken 100 prophets and hidden them in 2 caves, 50 in each, and had supplied them with food and water. 1 Kings 18:13. 13 Haven't you heard, my Lord, what I did while Jezebel was killing the prophets of the Lord? I hid 100 of the Lord's prophets in 2 caves, 50 in each, and supplied them with food and water. 1 Kings 19:9. 9 There he went into a cave and spent the night. And the word of the Lord came to him, What are you doing here, Elijah? 1 Kings 19:13. 13 When Elijah heard it, he pulled his cloak over his face and went out and stood at the mouth of the cave. Then a voice said to him, What are you doing here, Elijah? Genesis 23:20. 20 South The field and the cave in it were deeded to Abraham by the Hittites as a burial site. Genesis 25:9. 9 His sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah near Mamre, in the field of Ephron son of Zohar the Hittite. Genesis 49:32. 32 The field and the cave in it were bought from the Hittites. 223. Genesis 50:13. 13 They carried him to the land of Canaan and buried him in the cave in the field of Machpelah, near Mamre, which Abraham had bought along with the field as a burial place from Ephron the Hittite. John 11:38. 38 Jesus, once more deeply moved, came to the tomb. It was a cave with a stone laid across the entrance. 1 Samuel 22:1. 1 David left Gath and escaped to the cave of Adullam. When his brothers and his father's household heard about it, they went down to him there. 2 Samuel 23:13. 13 During harvest time, 3 of the 30 chief warriors came down to David at the cave of Adullam, while a band of Philistines was encamped in the valley of Rephaim. 1 Chronicles 11:15. 15 3 of the 30 chiefs came down to David to the rock at the cave of Adullam, while a band of Philistines was encamped in the valley of Rephaim. 1 Samuel 24:8. 8 Then David went out of the cave and called out to Saul, My lord the king. When Saul looked behind him, David bowed down and prostrated himself with his face to the ground.